What if I told you one man spent 27 years in prison and walked out not with revenge, but with a dream that changed the world? This is not just history, it's a lesson in courage, leadership, and real English you'll never forget. Once upon a time, in a small village in South Africa, a boy was born who would one day change the world. His name was Nelson Mandela. But most people know him as Nelson Mandela. From the very beginning, his life was shaped by courage, struggle, and an unbreakable belief in justice. Mandela was born in 1918 in the village of Mvizo. His name, Ralilala, in his native Xhosa language, means pulling the branch of a tree, or more simply, troublemaker. Little did anyone know how true that name would be. When Mandela was just a young boy, his father passed away. He was then raised by a chief in a nearby village, where he learned the traditions of his people, and the importance of leadership. As he grew older, Mandela attended school. It was there that he was given the name Nelson by a teacher, as was the custom under British rule. Mandela was a bright student. He went on to study law at university, although he didn't finish right away. He was more interested in fighting for the rights of his people. In those days, South Africa was ruled by a system called apartheid, a cruel system of racial separation where white people had all the power, and black people were denied basic rights. Mandela couldn't stay silent. He joined the African National Congress, also known as the ANC, and began protesting against apartheid. He believed in peaceful resistance at first. But when the government responded with violence, he helped create a group that was willing to use sabotage not to harm people, but to damage buildings and systems that supported apartheid. It was a bold and dangerous step. In 1962, Mandela was arrested. He was sentenced to life in prison for his actions. He would spend the next 27 years behind bars. During those years, he lived in a small, cold cell on Robben Island. He was forced to do hard labor. He was not allowed to see his children grow up. But still, Mandela did not give up. He studied. He reflected. He became a symbol of resistance around the world. While Mandela was in prison, people everywhere began to speak out against apartheid. Protests were held. Sanctions were placed on the South African government. And slowly, the world began to demand change. Finally, in 1990, Mandela was released. He walked out of prison with his head held high, not with anger, but with hope. He did not seek revenge. Instead, he worked with the same government that once jailed him, to bring peace to South Africa. Just 4 years later, in 1994, something incredible happened. Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president of South Africa in the first election where all people, regardless of race, could vote. Mandela's victory was not just political. It was a victory for forgiveness, for unity, and for the human spirit. As president, he focused on reconciliation, bringing people together instead of dividing them. He even invited his former jailers to his inauguration. He believed that hatred only made things worse, and that the future depended on understanding one another. Even after stepping down from the presidency, Mandela continued to fight not with fists or weapons, but with words and actions. He worked for peace, education, and the rights of children around the world. He founded the Nelson Mandela Foundation to carry on his mission of justice and equality. Mandela's life was full of challenges, pain, and sacrifice. But he turned every struggle into strength. He once said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb." His story teaches us more than just history. It teaches us language, character, and courage. We learn new words like apartheid, reconciliation, resistance, and legacy. But we also learn deeper lessons: how to stand up for what's right, how to forgive, and how to never lose hope, even when things seem impossible. Today, Nelson Mandela is remembered all over the world. His birthday, July 18th, is celebrated as Nelson Mandela International Day, a day to do good deeds and make the world a better place. His face appears on statues, buildings, books, and even currency. But more important than any symbol, is the message he left behind. You don't need to be powerful to make a difference. You just need to believe in something greater than yourself: justice, peace, and humanity. Mandela's journey from a small village to the presidency is proof that one life can truly change the world. Let his story inspire you not just to speak better English, but to speak up for what you believe in. Learn his words. Learn his values. And most of all, learn to live with purpose. Because language is more than grammar and vocabulary. It's about understanding each other. And Nelson Mandela showed the world how powerful that understanding can be.